Welcome right back to The Explainer, everyone. I am absolutely pumped to have you here today because we are tackling a really massive frustration. You know the feeling, right? You spend months dieting, you're counting every single calorie, you're sweating for hours on the treadmill, and nothing. The scale just literally refuses to budge. Or maybe you wake up totally exhausted, and that stubborn belly fat just will not go away no matter what you do. Listen, if that sounds like you, you are definitely not alone, and your frustration is 100% valid. Today we're breaking down exactly why just eating less isn't working for you, and how mastering one very specific biological lever is going to change the whole game.
So why isn't it working? Why is your progress completely stalled out even when you're eating like a bird? Well, it's because we've all been looking at the wrong culprit. For decades, we've been told that weight gain is just about eating too much food. Just eat less, move more, right? But human biology is far more fascinating than that. Your body is actually fighting a biological antagonist. There is a master hormone actively blocking your progress, and it honestly doesn't care how hard you work out.
Section 1. The calorie lie and the real culprit.
Okay, let's dive into this. The old way of doing things, obsessively counting calories and starving yourself, it completely ignores how your body actually works. The new way is all about controlling your insulin. See, without insulin, your body literally cannot store fat. It just can't. It doesn't matter if you eat 1,000 calories or 5,000 calories. If insulin isn't there to unlock the door, those calories absolutely cannot be stored away as fat. It's just a hard biological rule.
To really picture this, think about this amazing Petri dish experiment. If you take human fat cells and put them in a Petri dish surrounded by their absolute favorite foods in the world, we're talking glucose and fatty acids, you'd naturally assume they would just feast and grow, right? Wrong. Without insulin in that dish, those fat cells stay small, weak, and practically starved. They can't do a thing with all that food. But the very second you drop insulin into the mix, within hours, those fat cells rapidly bloat and swell up. They had unlimited food the entire time, but nothing happened until insulin showed up to open the gate.
And we see this exact same law of biology happening in humans, specifically when we look at type 1 diabetes. Historically, before science figured out how to synthesize insulin, type 1 diabetics could literally eat at an endless buffet and still starve to death. They would lose massive amounts of weight simply because their bodies produced zero insulin. On the flip side of that, if a type 1 diabetic eats a really terrible diet full of processed junk and sugar and then injects excessive insulin to try and compensate for it, they can actually become obese. It absolutely proves that insulin is the strict, undeniable gatekeeper of your body fat.
Section 2. Insulin, the fat storage hormone.
Think of your body like a giant, complex factory. When you eat, your body converts that food into glucose, and insulin steps in as the ultra-strict transport manager. When your insulin levels are running high, it forces a process called lipogenesis. Basically, it actively stores your energy as fat. But here is the real kicker. While insulin is high, it strictly blocks lipolysis, which is fat breakdown. It physically locks the doors to your fat stores. So if insulin is circulating in your blood, there is no amount of time on the elliptical machine that will let you burn that stored fat.
This mechanism is also exactly what causes that awful post-meal brain fog. You know, when you feel incredibly heavy and sleepy right after lunch, we all kind of think that's normal, but it's actually a hormonal crisis. When you eat refined carbs, your insulin spikes dramatically. It greedily pulls all that quick energy out of your blood and shoves it straight into your fat cells. But your brain doesn't have a storage unit for later. It needs a constant, steady supply of fuel. So insulin is literally stealing the fuel right out from under your brain, leaving you totally fatigued, moody, and ready to fall asleep right there at your desk.
Section 3. The morning trap. The dawn phenomenon.
Okay, so there is this hidden trap called the dawn phenomenon. In the very early morning hours, your body naturally releases a huge cocktail of hormones: cortisol, growth hormone, adrenaline, glucagon. Why does it do this? Well, our prehistoric ancestors didn't exactly have refrigerators next to their beds. They needed a massive, natural energy spike just to get up, become instantly alert, and go hunt for breakfast. This totally natural hormonal spike raises your blood sugar, which consequently raises your insulin, meaning you actually wake up slightly insulin resistant first thing in the morning. So knowing all that, knowing that your body is already preloaded with sugar and slightly insulin resistant the second you open your eyes, let me ask you this. Do you still think eating breakfast the exact minute you roll out of bed is the most important meal of the day? It really forces us to completely rethink everything we've been taught about our morning routines.
Section 4. The breakfast and coffee rule.
And this brilliantly illustrates what your optimal morning timeline should actually look like. At 0 minutes, right when you wake up, your dawn hormones are absolutely peaking. By holding off and waiting just 90 minutes, you allow those natural stress hormones to settle down before you introduce coffee. And the real magic happens if you can wait 2 to 5 hours before eating your first meal. By delaying breakfast, you're letting that natural morning insulin spike completely drop off, returning your body to a highly insulin-sensitive fat-burning state.
Now, when you do finally break your fast, what are you going to eat? The absolute ideal breakfast keeps your insulin low so you can extend that overnight fat-burning mode. You really want to focus heavily on proteins and healthy fats. A hearty veggie omelet? Absolutely perfect. But you have got to avoid the toast, the sugary cereals, and the sweet tea. Because if you hit your slightly insulin-resistant morning body with a giant wave of sugar, you are going to lock yourself right back into fat storage mode for the rest of the day.
And what about the morning coffee? Because this causes so much confusion. Look, if you are highly insulin sensitive and at a healthy weight, having black coffee right away is honestly fine. The spike is negligible. But if you are currently dealing with insulin resistance or really struggling to lose weight, caffeine acts exactly like adrenaline in your body. It aggressively feeds that dawn stress response and spikes your blood sugar even higher. So for you, waiting that 90 minutes for your coffee is a literal game changer.
Section 5. Sleep, stress, and cortisol.
Just look at this number, 2 to 3 times. That is exactly how much your stress hormone cortisol multiplies after just one bad night of sleep. Waking up after tossing and turning is like starting your day in a massive state of biological panic. And remember, cortisol's main job is to dump sugar straight into your bloodstream, which instantly triggers, yep, you guessed it, a massive insulin response.
Let's move to and see how this builds into a totally vicious cycle. Say you eat a really carb-heavy dinner. Your blood sugar spikes and then violently crashes in the middle of the night. Your body panics, thinking it's starving, and spikes cortisol to rescue your blood sugar levels. But cortisol completely blocks melatonin, which is your sleep hormone. You wake up, your sleep is ruined, and you start the very next day with massive cravings and severe insulin resistance. It just pushes you right back into fat storage mode from minute 1.
Section 6. Breaking insulin resistance.
So if your doctor has ever tested your HOMA index, which is just a fancy medical test for insulin resistance, and told you it's over 1.5, or maybe you just know in your gut you're struggling, here is the absolute #1 way we break it. 7,000. That's the minimum number of steps you need to take daily, or roughly a 20 to 25-minute brisk walk. Why? Because simply getting up and using your muscles is the absolute best medicine to burn off that morning dawn energy. When you use that energy up, it dramatically fixes your cellular insulin signaling.
Bringing it all together, here is the complete protocol the experts recommend. Do some intermittent fasting, ideally just 2 solid meals a day with 0 snacking in between. Seriously slash those processed, refined carbs. Make sure you get those 7,000 steps in. Crucially, cut off all food 3 to 4 hours before bed so your blood sugar can actually stabilize for deep sleep. And hey, if you need a little extra push, herbal supports like berberine or inositol or even prescribed metformin are fantastic tools. Your body literally wants to heal itself if you just give it the right environment. Your holy grail metric through this whole journey is balancing your blood sugar. To put it simply, a really great rule of thumb is keeping your fasting blood sugar around 85 and making sure your spikes after a meal stay under 105. When you lock your numbers into this tight little window, you completely shut down that crazy hormonal roller coaster of nonstop cravings and afternoon fatigue.
At the end of the day, guys, there are absolutely no magic pills. There are no quick shortcuts. The real secret here is eating whole, real foods, fiercely protecting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and finally choosing to work with your hormones instead of going to war against them with miserable starvation diets. When you align your lifestyle with your biology, weight loss actually stops being this exhausting daily struggle and becomes just an effortless side effect of getting healthy.
I really want to leave you with this final thought. You know the science now. You know the whole calorie myth. So, are you going to keep exhausting yourself, fighting your own biology and obsessing over every single calorie? Or are you going to take back control and master your insulin starting tomorrow morning? That choice is entirely up to you. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to dive into our next topic with you.